Hi, I'm Ollie Pickup, a human work evolution storyteller. AI in journalism and PR is a really interesting subject to me. What I worry about is generic content, AI slop. I think there is an AI sloppertunity, if you like, here for proper human, good investigative journalism. There's some great things happening at a publishing house called The Mill, and they are investing in local journalists to investigate and produce long-form articles. And there's this sense of real community news that I think is starting to bubble up and fantastically well. It's clear that many of the big newspaper houses are using AI. They have been managing decline for decades because of the internet and the whole advertising model breaking down. Now they are paying fewer journalists, less money to do more work. Of course they're going to use AI. We're starting to see it even in columns, I'd say, in broadsheet columns. And that's a big worry. When 90% of all content is synthetically generated, this is why real human stories, the complexity, the messiness of human stories really comes to the fore. And I'd really stress that to PRs as well. I don't want to see, generic copy, whether it's quotation mark, whether it's quotations or whether it's ideas. Really take the time to get under the skin of something and provide the details and the human story. I think PRs and journalists alike are trying to work out the best way forward with AI. I use it myself for research, generative AI, and for checking spelling and punctuation and things like that. But we want the details, we want the human messiness. My biggest frustrations with PRs, I don't have many, I'd like to say, but there can be moments when you're sent a press release and then there's a follow-up call and then there's another follow-up call. I may not have time to answer or have looked at the press release or whatever it is that you're pitching. So fine, follow up with one call, but then to follow up with another call almost immediately afterwards. I mean, there is a fine line here, because if you've built that trust with the journalist, then it's okay not to get pestered, let's say. But also, I really have a problem at the moment with just generic AI quotations or press releases that have obviously been fed through AI and just don't have that oomph, that don't start with the story. I mean, you've got such a higher chance of catching my attention if you start with a real human story, whether it's quotations or whether it's some tech for good case study. So I think they've been my tips. But honestly, I'm not that frustrated. I know you've got a job to do.